Hey guys, and welcome to the finale of building UMBARA in Lego. So we're here, guys. We're at the finale. We're at the end of the series. It's crazy. It's already gone, already taken apart. To begin whatever my next project is, and at the end of the video, stay tuned because I'm going to be talking about what I want to do for my next mock series. But anyways, let's get into the finale of building UMBARA. All right, so I just gotten back. I made a little bit more progress right before I left for vacation. As you can see, as you saw in the thumbnail, that I messed a lot more with the figure posing. Just had a bit of fun with this, just kind of get an idea of what I want for the final product. Just a few things. I do have kicks right there, helping down a down clone. I like this clone right here, taking cover. Just a lot of small things. I want to try to have everybody like a unique pose. This one guy got a thermal detonator right there. But yeah, I think it's turning out pretty cool. Once this is all done, it's gonna look so awesome with all the figures. But the biggest thing is I did make quite a bit of progress on the Starfighter, as much progress as I had time to. So there are a few areas of this that I had to redesign. Specifically with the back engine portion, there were a few times that studio just lied to me, said that connection was possible when it really wasn't. So unfortunately, it's going to take longer than I thought to recreate the Starfighter one-to-one. One of the biggest things is I have this technique where I'm using the Lord of the Rings to switch the stud direction, but Studio does not account for the Lego logo, which is slightly increases the height of the stud. So you need to use pieces that do not have the Lego logo stud on them. So I had to redesign that a little bit, making use of those 1x2 round plates, which just have the holes on the studs. So I was able to get that connection to work perfectly. But while I was gone, I also got 2 more brick quarters in. I got the final one for the Starfighter, so that's great. I'm gonna get started on that right away. The rest are just some various parts, 1x1 tiles, dark bluish gray. A lot of parts for the terrain. I got a bunch more of these dice pieces for more crates. But yeah, just a lot of various parts to just finish off various things that I need to do to make this mock final. So the plan, I'm gonna do a few small things to kind of clean up the mock, fill in all of these holes right there, finish off the fencing, make a bit more crates, and then I will finish off the Starfighter, get that final version done for the mock. So let me get started with that right now, guys. Okay, so I thought I had all the parts I need, but I am waiting for one more bricklink order. Actually, I was able to finish off all the tiling on the flooring of the base, so that looks great. I was able to complete some of the Vixis as well, but I wasn't able to complete the sensor wall, so I have to wait for those parts to come in. But what I was able to do was completely finish the Starfighter. I think it turned out pretty good, considering, you know, there are a few errors compared to the actual model of the ship, but I think it looks great for the most part. There are a few things I want to tweak, possibly. It's not the most stable build as well. It's going to be staying in this general area. I'm probably going to change the orientation of it a bit, but around here is where it's going to be in the final version of the mock. I was not going to have the ray shield attached because when it's landed, it doesn't have the ray shield on, and the like seat is sitting like in front of the vehicle. But I think it looks better just with the overall build to have it on. Also, there's some structural reasons why I need to have it there. So it's going to stay like that in the final version of the mock, which I don't think is too big of a deal. Doesn't look too bad. I think it actually looks a lot better with the ray shield on. So I like that. Few challenges putting this thing together. I had to change a few parts of the model to make it more structurally stable. There were a few parts I didn't have. I don't have time to order them, so I had to strip them off of about like 6 parts off of a couple sets that I have, which is fine. I'll just replace them once I finish this mock. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I do think I would have had enough room to put another one over there, but I just didn't have time to build it. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I'm just gonna keep working on the terrain now, try to get that completely finished. Once that bricklink order comes in, I'll be able to finish the rest of the mock, and all the building will be done for this build. So I'm gonna get started on that. Okay, so now the entirety of the terrain is completely finished. So all the way across, all of it is done. And it turned out a lot better than I initially anticipated. The tires actually look a lot better than I thought they would with all of them together. I think it looks a lot better. The only pieces I'm missing are the pieces for the tongue for the Vixus. But other than that, the entirety of the terrain is now done. It has a massive part of this mock. I'm really happy with how the Vixus kind of fit into the terrain. I think that looked great. And the UMBARA's getting attacked by it. I think I might want to try to get one more UMBARA, maybe if somebody's selling it at Brick Fair. I think that could be a nice addition to add. Also messed with the figure posing a lot more. This is not the final product. I'm gonna do most of it there at Brick Fair. There's a lot of figures that I still need to kind of set up. With a few additions that I made. So specifically, I didn't think that it was very evident that Crow was using like a force push on these 3 clones. So I tried to add in these dishes, these clear dishes, to kind of show more that he is using the force to push them back. I think it turned out pretty good. I might get some people's opinion on it first, mess with it a little bit more, but that's kind of what I'm thinking to do right there. And also, the Starfighter, this is probably gonna be the final position for the Starfighter. I think right there it is, good. And we have the little scene set up right here with the kind of confrontation with Dogma that kind of takes place like right after this main battle takes place. But I just kind of wanted to show it because I love that scene. So I am gonna get some custom printed Clone Trooper heads from AV Figures. It's supposed to arrive tomorrow, which is the day before I am leaving to pack up everything. So I'm gonna get one for Rex, Tup, and Dogma as well. I really like here how I was able to make use of the rubber band, the Lego rubber band, to get the arm to kind of stand out like that, because that is kind of the pose that he is doing in the actual episode. The hairpiece is not ideal. I wish I had a more accurate hairpiece, but this is probably the best I have for Dogma. So that final Bricklink order is still supposed to arrive tomorrow, the day before I leave. So I'm not gonna wait to start packing everything up. I'm gonna pack up as much as I can up until then, and then leave out the parts I need to finish building, specifically the wall, some work with the crates. Yeah, overall, I am so happy with how this build is turning out. I'm gonna get started to packing up some of the build, and I'll kind of show you my process with that. Okay, so I'm almost finished unpacking. I have just some parts of the building left to do, but I stopped because I finally got in a couple packages that I need to finish this build. So I got parts for, the Vixus, the fence, and as well as more crates. So that's all in this Bricklink order. And then I got the AV Figures custom printed heads. So I have Rex here, as well as Dogma and Tup. So happy that those came in. Very cutting it close. I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Brick Fair, so really close, cutting it close. I also made this kind of QR code I'll have by UMBARA. I think that'll be useful. I made it both vertical and horizontal. Don't know exactly how I'm going to display it yet, but those 4 years of graphic design finally coming in clutch. So that's great. I'm gonna finish packing up and then I'll update you with exactly how I am packing this mock. All right, so now everything is packed up. Kind of take you through kind of my thought process. So I'm making use of these kind of organizer bins. So I have some spare parts. I have some parts for the flooring, like some dark gray tiles, and then some filler just in case, because never know, might need that. And then I have just some of the figures, kind of just split up, some various other small portions of the build, some tiles, translucent light blue tiles, more figures over there. This big is a bunch of plants, so I have all of these plants as well as the ones that are made out of tires. I need to remove those for easier transportation. And here it's a bunch of just smaller builds and such. The Starfighters and the bottom of that. And then here we have all of the parts for the building except for the endoskeleton itself. That's in a separate box. And then over here we have just a bunch of smaller builds as well. Crates, the ice cream truck, and then some other smaller builds I'm taking. You might be able to see in there. I have my Banished Ghost and Banshee from Halo Infinite. I built those a while ago.
I don't think I've ever showed them on this channel, but they were on my Instagram. So if you want to get some exclusive builds, go and follow that. And then I'll, of course, have the sign telling you to do so. So I'm going to be putting this up next to UMBARA, which will be good. In this bin, I have all the base plates, every single base plate in here, as well as the fences as well, are all in this bin. I was glad I was able to get all the base plates in one bin. That's really good. Just, you know, layers of bubble wrap just to protect it all. And then this bin, the endoskeleton needed to have its own bin. So it should stay together. Hopefully I might add a little bit more bubble wrap in the corners over there. But surprisingly, it was able to remove from that base plate. I was having a little doubt that it's going to be difficult to move, but behold, it was very easy. So that's everything packed up. I'm going to get everything in the car and head on the road. All right, so I had to stop at the LEGO store. I picked up the new 332nd Battle Pack, as well as this Indiana Jones preset I've been wanting to pick up for a while, and I, of course, had to get a bunch of Pick-a-Brick cups. So we are here at the Empire Lug booth. So you can see I started setting up UMBARA. It's going to take a while, but everybody else is here setting up mocks and getting ready for the public. And here it is, guys. UMBARA is finally finished. I'm going to just kind of take you through the entirety of the build. A few things that have changed since I've last showed you. But obviously the terrain is pretty much the same. But yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. And actually, I got nominated for the best Star Wars build. I did not end up winning, unfortunately, but it was really cool being nominated nonetheless. The Vixus over here hasn't really changed, but I love how that tongue turned out. I think it's as accurate as I could have gotten it. Like that piece for the tip of the tongue is like perfect for the Vixus. But yeah, massive battle going on here. I messed with the figure posing a lot. As you can see, I did end up including the 2 ARF troopers. I was kind of hesitant on including them because they aren't actually in this battle, but I thought they fit well over here with the 2 parked ATRTs. You got these 2 clones kind of noticing what's going on. The one guy's pointing, and then the Banshee picking up the clone. I love that so much. I love how that turned out. One guy's taking cover behind those crates. The 212 trooper, you know, aiming down the sights on the crates. A lot of the stuff I've already kind of shown you, like I was saying, but I loved how it turned out. I think it all culminated into a really great scene. But you may notice that the blue line, where some of the tiles kind of dropped down, I tried to fix it, but my original plan to fix it didn't work. So there are some gaps in the blue line, which is unfortunate, but it wasn't very noticeable. I don't think anybody pointed it out. So I am happy with that. Yeah, you have the one clone it's getting shot by a deflected blaster bolt that Ponkrell deflected back at him. He's kind of in the air flying. You have a couple clones rushing to join the battle. One down clone by those crates. You also have a clone with a thermal detonator, and of course that one clone who got cut in half by Ponkrell. But now to the UMBARAN Starfighter. I changed up the orientation a bit, and man, I'm so happy with this. I think it works so perfectly. I kind of changed my mind. I thought there would be enough room for a second one. There definitely would not. It would have been too crowded if I had a second one, so I think it kind of ended up working out. But also, I love how this looked. It transported completely fine. I was able to take it apart, put it back together really easily. And man, I'm so happy. I think it works. I think the light gray color definitely worked. I think ended up working better with the overall build. I think brown could have been interesting, but I do like how it turned out. The building all went together fairly easily, just took a little while. A few errors in transportation, a few extra gaps that weren't there originally, but I did end up putting that Banshee right there on the attached to the building. Everything with the building survived really well, surprisingly. I didn't have anything break, pretty much. I think like one thing broke in the entirety of the building, which is very surprising. So really happy that this endoskeleton ended up holding itself really well. As you can see, we also have the scene with Dogma confronting the other clone troopers. The AV figures faces look really good. I'm really happy with them. The only thing that I didn't like is that the regular clone trooper is printed on the regular clone trooper head, so he has basically two faces, one on the front and the back. So Rex has a face on the back because he doesn't have a hairpiece, but it's whatever. I like how that scene turned out. But also making our way to the Easter egg in the back with all of the clone troopers, the workout clone troopers. There are quite a few people who identified this Easter egg right away, but I'm really happy that I was able to make it noticeable about what it is. And such a fun little detail to add to the entire build. I love doing Easter eggs. Really want to do more in the future like this one. But there it is, guys. The entirety of UMBARA is finally finished, and I am so happy with how it has turned out. We're now back from Brick Fair. Unfortunately, I have to thank everybody at Empire Lug. I had so much fun with you guys over there for letting me display with them. Hopefully I'll get into the lug, we'll see. But I just had so much fun. Definitely the most fun I've had at any LEGO convention so far. But as you can see, I didn't care what condition UMBARA came back in. This is the entire, most of the building just in a bucket. Because yeah, I just needed to transport it back home so I can sort it all. So obviously I have a lot more sorting ahead of me. Got all the base plates in there. This actually stayed fairly organized for the most part. Yeah, just kind of threw all those plants in there, all those random pieces. More stuff over here. The starfighter should be at the bottom of this bin. Hopefully it survived. Also you can see my haul that I brought in. I'll go into more depth into this haul in another video, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, here it is. UMBARA it's gone and ready to start whatever next project I begin. So let's head out to the outro so I can talk about that some more.
That's gonna be it for the finale of building UMBARA. I just want to thank everybody for your support on the series. This is the biggest thing for my channel ever. But I just need to thank everybody who supported it, everyone who commented, liked, subscribed throughout this entire series. Just thank you. I'm so happy with how this mock has turned out. Obviously there are a few things I wish I could tweak, but overall I'm really happy. I got nominated for Best Star Wars Build at Brick Fair. I didn't win, unfortunately, but it's still really cool being nominated nonetheless. Yeah, Brick Fair was a lot of fun. A few challenges along the way. The tower may have fell off and crumbled on the first public day, at the end of the first public day. But other than that, it was also a lot of fun. But talking about what I want to do next for the channel, so it's kind of going to be difficult transition because I'm going to be going into my first year of college. I'm going to be staying on campus. I'm going to be away from my collection, so I'm not really going to be able to do too much physical building during the next year, which is unfortunate. But I have a few ideas for other projects that I could work on. You know, I still have time before then, so I can try to make as many videos as possible. I want to do a haul video for Brick Fair. I want to do a cinematic video for UMBARA. So just, you know, a bunch of pictures for music. I think that would be a nice video to make. I want to do a couple army videos. Somebody asked to do that, so I'm definitely going to be doing like a clone army and a droid army video. And beyond that, I think is going to be next mock project. So my next big mock project that I want to try to do, I'm not sure how long it's going to take since I'm going to be away from my collection, but I want to do Ahsoka versus Vader on Malachor, the Sith Temple. I just love to do that build. I want to include a lot of lights, which I really wanted to do with UMBARA, but unfortunately I wasn't able to, so I really want to do that. That's the big thing that I want to do with this build, is light it all up. I think it's going to be probably either slightly bigger or slightly smaller than UMBARA. I'm not too sure yet. It's going to depend. I still need to do some calculations on exactly how many parts I'm going to need. But I think it might end up being bigger than UMBARA, which is going to be awesome. But I'm really excited for this project. I still need to do some planning out, so it's possible things could change, but right now that's what I'm planning on doing. Another side project that I want to do, and since I'm going to be away from my collection for so long, I'm going to do a lot more digital designing with Studio. Obviously I experimented with that in this series, but I want to try to design every pod racer, maybe eventually doing a large scale pod racer mock. But I think designing all the pod racers digitally while I'm away from my physical collection, I think that could be a fun side project and maybe a side series to work on. So yeah, I'm really excited about that project as well. So obviously, future of the channel is kind of gray exactly how many videos I'm gonna be able to get out, but I'm gonna try my best to get as many videos out as possible. But that's gonna be it. I just want to thank everybody again for all your support on this series. It's been amazing. My favorite thing to build on this entire channel. It's my favorite build I've ever done. I just am so proud with how this has turned out. I'm really excited to see what the future of this channel holds. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.